live. No, SimplyLesa's live stream. I cannot. Oh, poop. I got myself all set up really good, except for one thing. I forgot that I have to read the messages, and I can't read them from here. So good morning, everybody. Let's hope the signal works well enough today to stay on for a little while. Who's there? Beth, welcome, Beth. I'm so glad you're here. Bernie, hey, Bernie, and Donna R. And, so if you want to ask me a question today, please, please, please use 3 uppercase Qs in front of your question. Or you may always use super chats and super thanks, which is a way that you can donate money to help my cause, to help our cause, to keep me rolling, and maybe even help me fund, if you want to, help me fund the next phone and internet service, which at the end of, I think they said the end of March is when I lose the American Connectivity Act thing that gives me my internet, unlimited internet. So with that change, it would be really nice to have a little help. But at the same time, we do what we can do. I am touching the screen because I found out, look, you could get me with a bigger head. So I found out that I could do this. Now, do I need to be shorter? Yeah. Too bad. I don't want to sit on that cold stool without something under me. So we're using the pad. But I've done my best to set us up a little better today. And I brought I love these enamel mugs. You know, I these up down in Mexico. I have always had a thing for enamel. Okay. Yes, enamel gets hot, but it's not crazy. And it's, of course, with my tendency toward the MS and autoimmune stuff, there are some days when heavy things are challenging, or if they're too big around for my fingers, for my hand to get a good grip. And I don't really have major issues with that, but I pay attention to it. So I love these. I love the big handle. I don't have to have much in it. I can have much in it. Depends on my mood. So, but these are Sinsa brand. It's not on it. Sinsa brand. You can buy them off of Amazon. I don't know if I put them in my store. I feel so busy here at the cabin since I returned that I don't feel like I've done a good job on my online presence. And this year, a lot of stuff changed with online things. So my moderators, please be aware that now live streams are searchable and advertised along with shorts. So that's why we're getting so much more traffic. So be ready in case some trolls show up again this week. Yes, I know the trolls, I don't see all the messages, just FYI. But trolls sometimes talk about how I'm old. Okay. I am. I'm 60 freaking 5 years old. I never thought I'd even see 19. So I'm 65. Get over it, you know? But I have knowledge and skills to share with y'all to help your life be a little easier, because mine was hard. So you don't have to do what I did. And I'm not saying all of my life was always hard. I'm not a Debbie Downer. Wow, that didn't sound right. Sorry to anybody who's a Debbie. It's not, I'm not griping about my life. I'm just saying the reality is, oh my gosh, I don't know that I can do this without scaring him. But there is this really cool woodpecker in the tree right outside the window. Let's try. You're going to see the wall first, and then I'm going to attempt to show you. He's in the tree. Can you see him moving around? He's so pretty. Oh, crap. I don't know that I'm showing you it well. Oh, hop around some more, bird. Look at him. Oh, how cool was that? Okay. Let me get back to where we were. There we are. Okay. And I have that on there's a magnet. Whoops, I have to make this a little bigger for y'all. I have a cell phone magnet is screwed to the wall where my signal is its best. I don't know if you got to see the bird or not, but he was cool. I'm going to scoot the phone that way just a little bit because moving the stool and me would be great, but there's stuff right here. So I did this week. Let me give you some of the updates. Did I do all the housekeeping? Let's see. Did I do the housekeeping? Uppercase Q's. Buy me a super chat or a super thanks, which would be wonderful. Thank you. If I forgot something, would you guys, my moderators, and especially Beth, you are so good at that. Would you just, anything I forgot, would you just put a message out for me? I don't know if, was her name Joyce? I forgot her name. The lady that bought me the yummy community king cake coffee. That's what I'm having this morning. That I kind of save it for Sunday mornings. Not always. I mean, there's some days when I just want to have it, but what a treat. It was so nice of her to buy that for me. No, Sonia. Her name was Sonia. Let's see. Miss Wendy is right here in front of me. You can't see that. And y'all know that with my signal being the way it is right now, I try sometimes to just not move the phone. And so I do have some notes in front of me. There's a thing in front of me. So I put my notes down there. You'll see me look down. I'll try to look at the camera lens instead of my eyes on my phone screen. Miss Wendy is sitting right in front of me in the sunshine. Miss Wendy, can I pick you up and show everybody? Everybody loves to see you. Can I please disturb you? Miss Wendy's been a little upset this morning because I don't have our normal breakfast. And so I gave her dog food this morning, and she's looking at it like, what are you doing? It's good quality, grain-free dog food, but she's still looking at that bowl like I've been mean or something. She's been chasing rabbits. She caught a rat maybe a week or two ago. I've forgotten, but she's doing really good. She likes to guard things. She likes to protect me. That's partly the Yorkie Terrier thing. And I'll talk a little bit, then I'll come up to the screen and I'll scroll to see your questions. Like I said, questions, 3 uppercase Q's, or if you have a comment you want me to speak about, just put the uppercase Q's. I'll read, because I could see it faster, I'll read those quicker, and I'll comment or whatever on those. We have a wonderful community out here that will help with ideas and whatever else. Okay. And so now let me get into, I titled today's, before I forget. Yes, it's a travel Q-tip thing. Okay. But before I forget, do you guys want me to get more SimplyLesa stickers? I have this kind that I can get more of. I have the ones that are just the round logo that I can get more of. I'm going to have to order them, and they're going to need to be paid for. And then I would have to probably get a few dollars a piece for them. I've just decided that I'm going to go ahead and put the Zooks of Arizona and one of these on the blue car because people have been stopping me down in St. John's and in Sholo and saying, I know you're online. So I have some things that I could start to do some merch with, and it might be a good idea because my expenses have been Well, my expenses are changing. Now, my everyday living expenses, not so much. But a couple of the big changes. Oh, thank you so much, Lesa. I'm Lesa L. I'm your favorite channel. Thank you. Treat yourself. Thank you so much, Lesa. I really appreciate that so freaking much. That's wonderful. Um, I don't expect this from my followers to be giving me money in order to get things. But I appreciate when you guys help me because, the struggle is real and I am still on disability. Until I turn 67, I will be on disability according to the rules. And because of that, I try to play by the rules and not earn too much money so that they won't, take my check or bother me too much. Um, so I okay, let me just jump to the update on finances. So I've started the conversations with Stanley, Jeremy, Sam, the guys at the auto shop down in St. John's. I have started the conversation about how do we figure out so that we might be able to do a road trip and go get my white tracker and bring it closer here. Now, that quick announcement, let me just say that Mike, if you're listening, that's the mechanic in Nevada. Um, I will be contacting you and we will talk soon. I don't have enough information on the possibility of this yet, but I started the conversation with them about how could we start to think about getting that here or having Mike finish the repairs. It just is so far away and it feels challenging. I'm noticing that my phone, and I apologize, you're going to hear those things. It seems if I turn the ringer off and all on my phone will glitch while I'm doing the live with the signal. Those of you that know me well know that my signal is challenging here at the cabin, and I do my best to stay online. But if we have a lag or a scroll, be patient. Until it's been an hour and a half or 2 hours, I won't disappear. I just might be gone for a minute. I noticed that if I look at my motion on the phone itself, because I can see the phone screen, sometimes it was slow just now. So that might be happening. So, on a financial update for me personally, this year, I got my cost of living increase. And so I get $1,100 a month. I live alone on my property. You people are not welcome to just show up here. That happens, I will call the sheriff. I will call my neighbors who have Pop House, and they will come assist me. I have a plan in place. Do not show up at my property unannounced. Do not go digging for who and where exactly I am. I will not be nice about that. I have to protect myself. I have to protect my baby. I have to protect, my my privacy. So, but on a personal financial note, I don't have much money in the bank right now. I have no savings. Um, I went through my savings when the engine blew in the white tracker. Um, I will be trying to save again, but it's been winter. We've had winter storms. I've had to make sure there were enough supplies here in case I couldn't get off my property, and stuff like that. And so, and life happens. And when you only have $1,100 a month is a lot of money. And if you're careful, you can do a lot with it. Um, I'm pretty good with that. And that being said, stuff happens. And like, um, I rescued Wendy. There was a rehoming fee. It was pricey, but the reason that we paid, I had help, but the reason we paid the rehoming fee was because she was supposed to be chipped, spayed, and had all her shots. She went into heat. This past week took her to the vets for a wellness checkup for $66 to get her checked. She has no chip. She has not been spayed. And that makes me question whether she has her shots. I am in communication with the rescue. They have said they would pay for it. And then there's been some odd communication. So this week I will be working to try to get her scheduled, probably at Pet Allies in Sholo, because it's cost effective. And I will be trying to get them to pay for that, because that was the only reason that I paid the kind of rehoming fee, or allowed the rehoming fee to be paid. I wouldn't have paid for it. Not that much. Anyways, but she's not going away. We get along great. So I don't have that much in the bank, no savings at this point in time, or maybe I have $10 in my savings right now. It's nothing. And let's see, and I have a little bit of cash. I hope saying these things doesn't like put me in some kind of jeopardy. I don't think it does, but it's kind of weird, right? And then I'm still paying. I've been telling some of you that are regular followers, I was telling you that I've been paying down this loan that, it started off as the building fund for the cabin. Then I added to it for car repairs. And then I added to it for the next car repairs. And then I added to it for yet the next car. So 3 cars. It's been paid for once. I was down to $100 and then added to it. Okay, I finally have the final information. I'm at $3,165. I rounded it up. I pay it at $254 a month. I have 12.5 months left to pay. So March of 2025, I will be back to debt free, unless I find a way to double up on payments and pay that off, because it is one of my big goals. It's hard for me to see my way to that right now, when I have the white tracker needing the engine rebuilt, and the fact that I'm making the cabin more comfortable, more what's the word I want? More less reliant on other things. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to go to the grocery store so much and stuff like that. So those things take some funds. For example, I can jump a little bit to the am I chicken? And there is a conversation about, do I get scared? Absolutely. Sure. Especially on the nights when it's really, really dark. I don't have many neighbors here, and it gets really pitch black dark sometimes. That's scary. There's sounds. You're not quite sure what the sound is. The cabin is pretty soundproof because I insulated it well. But if you have the windows open during the night or anything, you hear stuff. You don't know what you're hearing. Lately, it's been elk. But of course, I also have rats and rodent problems sometimes. And that can be a challenge. You hear the chewing and you don't know where you're hearing the chewing and whatever. Sure, I get scared. Sure, I get scared when, like last night, this light thing went past my window between the cabin and the tree that's like less than 10 feet away and keeps going. I think it was a drone. Who's running a drone up here? Why? That stuff doesn't feel good. When it's hunting season and you hear the bullet zing past your ear, because nobody knows anybody lives up this way. It's like, come on, people. There's just more people up here these days. It's not like it was when I first came up here years and years back. And there was nobody for like 200 acres or more around me. It's different now. But those things, they're scary because you don't know what's going to happen. And I do have a plan in place. If I was to get hurt, I have certain people who are expecting to hear from me at a certain time or expecting to see something on Facebook or online. And if you didn't hear from me, you would check on me. Some people would do that. I need to check y'all. Y'all been busy, so I need to catch up with y'all. But on the note of finances and chicken, I have chickens coming on Wednesday. Well, I've had to work on upgrading the chicken house where I'm going to put them. And so I bought poultry water nipples so I can make my own automatic waterer. These work on the principle of like a hamster cage bottle so that when they tap the end of it, they get the water. And then I ordered these for the feed, and I ordered them off of Amazon because they have some similar to this at Tractor Supply. I bought these nipples at Tractor Supply. They were about $8. But, $8 is $8. And after a minute, you've spent, all a lot. So these are made for you to drill holes in something and to make a feeder for the chickens. And they have caps, so you take the cap out of the inside. The red inside comes off. But these are made, anyways. They have a set at Tractor Supply, but they were $27. And on Amazon, these were $12. So, I ordered them this way. Let's see. Okay. The cap just comes off. And then, it doesn't have a thing so that they can't pull feed, on the ground. But I can put something on here if I want to. I'm not planning to feed my chickens dry grain. So I think this might be okay. I don't know. But we'll try it for $12. I'm going to try it. I'm planning to feed the chickens fermented legumes and stuff like that. Rice and grains and not so much grains. Anyway, I don't know that I said that in English. But so I got a set of these off of Amazon for $12 to try. And yes, similarly to the Tractor Supply kit, it does come with, these are the O-rings to keep it from leaking. Wait a minute, I can't quite do it. And they even include the hole saw bit comes with it. So that's very similar to what they sell for $27 at Tractor Supply. So anybody that's doing off-grid, farming kind of homesteading kind of things, you might have an interest in this. And yes, I need to do some work on my online presence in my store. So basically what you do is you cut a hole in something and then you install these, and then the chicken can get their head in, and the bird can get their head in. Anyways, so those things cost me money. And then I needed some more hardware cloth. Unfortunately, this one's 1/4 inch. I forgot I needed 1 inch. And but I might use this anyways, whatever. But these things cost money. And then, when I got Wendy, that cost me money. These were unexpected. I wasn't planning on getting chickens at first, though it was in my, in the back of my head, because I'll have to stay here more often, because I'm trying to repair the engine for the other tracker. And that, the way my income is, that could take me a whole year to do. And if I have to be home a lot more for a whole year, it changes the way I think about a lot of stuff. So, and it changes what my expenses are. So So there came an opportunity. I had mentioned to some people that I was looking for a dog and I needed a certain breed because of my allergies and all. Um, and I have a health update too. So, so I also mentioned if you know anybody that has already adult chickens and wouldn't mind if I decided at some point to harvest them. Thank you, Jeremy, for that term so that YouTube doesn't give me a hard time. Um, that I would be willing to take on an adult flock of chickens with the idea that at some point I might need to harvest them. And a month back or more, somebody from town got a hold of me and said, and oh my gosh, Lesa, I know you love barred rock hens. I actually have 5 barred rock hens. I think you call it a Cochin rooster. He has like a top knot on his head, and 2 Turk hens, which are a cross between turkeys and chickens. And I would love for you to have them if you would like. And I do understand that if you needed to harvest them, you would. And I was like, yes. So I have been transitioning my greenhouse garden space into a coop for the chickens. And I'm building, I hope I get it ready in time. I'm building like a separate hen house that I'll be able to move in and out of that as I want. So I might have them in there for 6 months. I might have them inside there for a whole year, but it's very secure. So I've been using, I had an old roll of chicken wire here. I've been making that more secure for them because they won't be able to get out. But I don't want we have bobcats and stuff up here. I don't want them getting in and coyotes. And but it's very secure. So I've been working on that. Plus, I had put compost in there and mulch a while back. So I've also been planting like lentils and mung beans and stuff like that under the mulch so that there'll be more food for the chickens when they do get here. Because I don't produce a lot of okay, in my house growing up, we were off grid. Um, a lot of my young years, we were off grid. And we what was I telling you? Oh crap. We would get 100 chickens every spring, and in the fall we would harvest, and we would only overwinter a certain number of birds. Um, I forgot where I was going with that. There was a thought, and then something distracted me outside the window. That's all it takes. And no, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but who knows? Um, okay, health update. Let me do that real quick too. I do need to come see what y'all are saying. Um, I'm not forgetting, but uh, I because of the weather, because of the time when it was very difficult for me to get off the property during the deep snow in the winter, roads were really bad. It's only my last mile and a half that's bad, but um, I decided to no longer be strict carnivore. It has helped me, and it has also shown me some more of my health issues. So I say it like that kind of in a weird way. I reintroduce white rice. I do fine with white rice. I have more energy. It's wonderful. I also have done some resistant starches, for example, cassava or taro root, or green plantain flour, stuff like that. I can do some of those things and I don't have any reaction. Um, but I still have allergies and things. And I seem to have histamine responses to some things. So I went this week to see my PCP doctor in St. John's and requested testing for toxic mole syndrome and um, Lyme's disease. And I forgot to ask him to have me tested, but I'll see if I can't finagle that, to have me tested for mast cell activation stuff. But anyway, so I'm having that testing done when probably this week. I have the paperwork for it. I just have to drive to Springerville to the hospital. That's where the lab is that I use. And I just have to go in and wait in line and let them draw blood. So I'll be doing that. That's kind of the health update. I feel like I'm doing fine. I've had to take like a quarter of a Benadryl a couple of times because I'll feel the inflammation or I'll have the starting reaction to an allergy thing or histamine or whatever. Anyway, so that's that. That's all I want to talk about that. Unless you have questions. So please ask questions. I'm going to come see what y'all are saying. I have to get real close to the camera here and I have to scroll. So pardon me while I catch up with y'all and see what's going on. So yes, am I chicken? Yes. And am I getting chickens? Yes. So, okay, I'm really close. Let me, whoops, go that way. Make me smaller. You're going to see my forehead. I don't know. Some of you that put me up on your bigger screens, your TV screens, you won't want to see me up and close and personal like that, right? All right, let's see what y'all are talking about. I'm going to pull you off. Oh, no, wait. If I pull you off, will I lose the signal? The phone signal. Don't do that. Y'all know me and my phone signal here. So, all right, what's going on? Wendy, can I get you to move a little bit so I can read the phone? Thank you. Thank you, big girl. Yeah, let Mama sit here like this. All right, so you're going to see a chair in the top of my head. Do I have any community wells that you can join to have access to water in your area? No. I'm on private property. If you buy into one of the ranch communities, there is a possibility some of the ranch communities do have wells, especially Red Sky Ranch. I wouldn't want to be on one of them because I don't like POAs, which is property owners associations. I don't want to do that. So in our area, we get so much precipitation in the form of rain during monsoons. And in the winter, we get a lot of snowfall. You can gather plenty of water, enough to take care of a ranch and a family, as long as you have a place to store it. It is possible to do that. So that's my answer to you. And I need to scroll way back to find out what's been going on. Guys, don't forget, I've got super chats and super thanks, and I appreciate you guys helping with that. I may have to start paying for my internet soon. I'm not ready to put the money into Starlink yet. I would have to really work the membership stuff to get help to pay for Starlink. I'm not ready for that yet. Miss Beth has her 94 diesel pickup. All right. Hi, Mary. Hi, Iris. Hi, Beth. Whoops. I touched something. Don't do that. Don't touch buttons. Okay. Good morning. You're clear this morning. No pixels. Good. That's why I'm leaving the phone where it is. In centuries past, the youth respected their elders and their wise ones. Yes. Doesn't look like a chicken. Hey, if it looks like a chicken, it squawks like a chicken. Yeah, that bird was not a chicken this morning. That was... Hi, Babs. Hi, Shadow Wolf. Glad to have you here. Yeah, some of you guys are in a different Arizona is not, but I always do my timing Arizona time. You guys adjust for where you're at. And I'm sorry, lost sleep, or wait a minute, jump forward. Yeah, lost sleep, lost an hour. Um, so yes, thank you for punching the sticker buttons and things. Lisa, that was so sweet. I'm just seeing yours again. Hedged hog. I see the cute pup. Yes, Wendy has been wonderful. I'm so glad I broke down and got her. Am I RV living? No, I'm not. I tried that. I have done that. I actually bought over the years up to 5 different vintage or yeah, they were all vintage now that I'm thinking about RVs, and renovated them thinking that I would like them here to live in. And I found that I was not as happy with the RV thing because of our extreme weather in this particular location. Um, we have in the spring sometimes crazy lightning storms. I've had lightning when I lived in the tent here. 3, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. I lived in a tent. Lightning struck 4 feet away. That's scary as crap. And the vintage trailers, one of them was a little too small. One of them was too hard for me. I had one of the Apache hard-sided pop-ups. Beautiful trailer. Too hard for me to manage on my own. I couldn't set it up alone. I just couldn't maneuver it. It was challenging. You want to go outside, Miss Wendy? Guys, pardon me as I let Wendy out for a minute. Here you go. Go ahead. Oh, and on the note of Wendy going outside, to catch up with some of y'all on this, the yard fence is almost finished. I even expanded the place with my fire pit that's in the yard. And so soon, Wendy doesn't go far from me when she goes out by herself. But she'll chase a rabbit, but she's, whoops, I got too far away from y'all. She'll chase a rabbit. I have too much stuff on the end of I have too much stuff right here in front of me. She'll only go a certain distance away from me. So I'm comfortable with her running out like that and letting her outside. But very soon that fence will be finished, and then I won't even have to think about it at all. So during the year that we had that pandemic thing, I was very, very sick. And 2 years later, they finally read all of the hospital tests, and they diagnosed me with MS. But so for 2 years, I'd been really, really, really super sick. Came back to the property from my being down in a nomadic sense, being down in Yuma. I'd been in the hospital for 5 days and 6 nights. Is that right? Did I do it backwards? Anyways, an extra day okay, 6 days, 5 nights, an extra day. Anyways, but they didn't read all the MRIs and CAT scans and everything. They didn't read them for 2 years. So I didn't know. I just knew I was super, super sick. And when I came back here, it was so scary during that time. And I was like, you know what? I've got the property. I know what to do. I've done organic gardening. I've got permaculture skills. I've lived on wolf farms when I was traveling in other countries. I've had huge gardens. I've raised animals. I don't really like to milk cows. I didn't do much milking goats. I probably could. But anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm not the only one that's going to need a place. Let me get this set up. I took out a loan because I thought the world was ending, like a lot of us did. And that's the loan I'm talking about when I talked about finances earlier. The cabin's way been paid for. But I took out a loan for $5,000 to build the cabin because I thought me and 5 or 10 of my closest friends might need to be self-sufficient here. And so I set it up, and I got mad at the guy who started the build, and that's when I built the greenhouse. It was a covered garden area because I understand where I live, and I'd practiced planting things here. And so I'd been through the it works and it doesn't work part of things. So, so no, I'm not living in an RV. I am in the cabin right now because I can't live in my vehicles right now because of what happened last year. So, and I'm getting older and whatever. I don't expect me to not be able to do whatever I want to do as I get older. Some people expect that as they get older, they won't be able to do things. I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you all for being here. And I am at my base camp cabin. Yes, yes, Beth, I am gonna do the fermented legumes and grains and stuff. Chickens eat bugs and stuff like that. Yes, and chickens eat rodents, and I will let them go get them. And whatever, because I've done mulch here before, I also have watched the scorpions. I'm in Arizona, people. I get 4 seasons, but we do have scorpions. They're little bark scorpions. They're not very big, inch long maybe, but I've seen them. And when I had mulch, I saw more of them. Well, of course, I do research once I see something. What is a scorpion's favorite food? Guess what their favorite food is? Termites. Well, I don't see many termites, but I know they're here. So the chickens will help with all of that. And Shadow Wolf, when you come through, just plan to come here and spend a little time. That's fine with me. You know that. I know you pretty well. Time change has you confused. Your notification said it starts at 10:30 Mountain Time. So is it? It is 9:30 for us all. Yes, I set it to start at 9:30 my time, Arizona time. We don't do time change, just like Costa Rica. So we're off from y'all for a little bit. So, okay, let's see. What else we got? More questions? Let's see. I'm scrolling to see. They do love to run, chickens love to run around and do whatever. The space of that greenhouse, I've showed you guys before a little bit. I need to do some regular videos, more videos to show you again. I believe that space it's either 14 by 16 or 12 by 16 or something like that. It's big, big enough. And so I'm making what I call the hen house. It'll be the place where they can sleep, and off to the side, there'll be the nesting boxes that they can get inside of at night. We'll go inside this other structure. And then at any point, someday I'll put wheels on it. And at any point, we can move it out into my yard if I'm comfortable with them being in the yard for a little bit, or if I want to move them out to more of a pasture area or another area that I want to turn into a garden, that I could do that with them. That's the goal. I was talking about the possibility of having to harvest some, yes. And yes, if I get hungry enough or something, I would harvest the chickens. Yes. Good morning, Joanne. Oh, and okay, so for the anonymous person who asked about the water, another thing about our particular area where I am, St. John's, Arizona, the town, has two locations where you can go get water. One of them you can fill, I don't remember how many gallons it gives at a time for a quarter. It turns on it's at the old ice house. It turns on a fire hose and it runs for so many minutes for a quarter. And the other one, well, I don't know if they've updated that, so don't hold me to the quarter. The other one that's closer to the police station, that is like right at the Hinklin movie theater location and the UPS store location. Um, their water is a penny a gallon, and you can fill large tanks there as well. That's actually St. John City water. And right beside it, they have um, a kiosk where you can put your jugs inside the little door. And I don't know if it's 5 gallons for $1 or something like that. And on the side of that, they have ice. And so that is available in St. John's proper. The road between St. John's out where I am is like a ribbon. It's quite a little ride. Um, where did you camp in Yuma? One of my favorite spots no longer allows camping, so it's day use only, but it used to be Fortuna Pond, but that got crazy. I have some little spots off the side that I like. Not a big fan of Mitri Lake, but it's okay, and there's water there. Um, I did not like the VFW. I visited people there, but I didn't camp there. I had little spots that, like the canal site was one of my favorites, um, because it's close and a lot of people didn't even know about it. Uh, and I like to camp near water. Okay, where else did I camp in Yuma? I don't know. Those were my favorites. And there were places like along Mitri Lake that I would camp, but it wasn't my favorite. Um, but you had to do 14 days and then move, and 14 days and move. And I did not like the Southern California side over there near Yuma. The whole American Girl mine and all of that. Ah, it was so 70-mile-an-hour winds too many times. Didn't like it. Where did you camp in Yuma? I've had chickens snatch sparrows out of the air. Whoops. Jeremy said, I have a 230-gallon tank we fill for $2. Yes. Hi, Donna Kay. I saw that you guys moved around a little bit. Have I lost more? Oh, I missed some of the messages, I guess. Okay. Do we have more questions and things today? Okay, I guess I didn't miss, but it felt like I did. Oh, I want to push that button up there to see what it is because it's a new button, but I am not touching it. So let's see. How much have I forgotten to talk about today? So one of the things I've done on the vein of being scared, chicken, one of the things that I've chosen to do is to get individual solar lights. And I put them around back when I lived here in my van and when I lived here in my SUV. I would string a tarp on a ridge line. Okay, a ridge line is you string a rope between two trees or two things. Here, I did it between trees. And then you put a tarp over the ridge line, the rope, like this, and stake it out. And I did that for shade. And I would camp with one of the doors of my vehicle close to or under the edge of that tarp. And then if it was monsoons, which I was here during monsoons, it was scary as crap when I had no neighbors, let me tell you. Roads were horrible, and the roads are much better now. Anyway, so I would get individual solar lights that were $1 a piece because it's all I could afford. I think when I first came here, I was still getting $600 a month. And so $1 little solar lights, and I would buy 2. And then next month I bought 2 more, and I put them at the corners of the tarp. And I was like, hey, back in the day, to keep coyotes away, they would make a campfire. The light must help. Let me do that. I started with that. And when it would rain, I would put a piece of cord with a little tiny heavy thing on the bottom. Sometimes it was a nut or bolt or something I found. And have it in a bucket so that when the water would roll down the tarp, it would roll down that into a bucket so I could catch water, and I would use that for everything that was possible. I would set up bucket traps to catch the rats because I didn't want them in the vehicle. And but that's how once I found out that the solar lights helped, and because I could look out the window of the van or the SUV and I could see a little bit, it helped me not be so scared in the dark. So even now, I have solar lights. Some of them are solar motion lights, and some of them are individual ones, and some of them, like the one on my back patio, which is going to be the kitchen, that one has its own solar panel mounted up on the roof, and they all have rechargeable solar batteries. And so every once in a while, which I haven't had to do in a long, long time, but I need to buy a set of rechargeable solar batteries because there's a bunch of my little ones that I just need to change the batteries in them. The batteries have died, but they're still good. Back when I could buy for $5 at Home Depot, the pretty ones that had glass globes on them, I bought a bunch of those. I'm saying a bunch. I bought 4 or 5. And so I want to change the batteries in those. They don't get wonky. And I saw on one of the shorts things, I forgot the guy's name, Gator. He does like construction and home stuff in shorts, and he's funny as crap, and he reminds me of Vern from back in the day. Yo, Vern. He said to clean up the old solar panels on your old individual solar lights, to try off bug spray. So there was some at Dollar General the other day, pretty cheap. And so I bought some to try it. Haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know how it works. Because if that works, wow, that'll be fantastic. I have a couple of things that are, they're faded kind of bad. So we'll see how that is. All right, let me get closer again. I saw some things moving. See you later, Shadow Wolf. Love you. Okay. That's right. You have the skid steer. I'm reading Jeremy's message. He's going to go too soon. He has a skid steer that he rented. He needs to work with it before he has to take it back. Yes, go do your job. Take care of you. Oh yeah, Iris, that's okay. So Iris said, yes, I'm tired of eating dirt in these winds. Can't even set up my shower tent. Absolutely. I've told people that how many times. So that's why when I got the opportunity to work with overlanders, I took notes from overlanders. And I found that mounting a roof rack of some kind on the roof of your vehicle worked better. And then getting one of the mounted shower potty tents works way better in the winds. It's attached to the top of your car. It works better. So can't wait to buy one of my stickers. Okay, so there's one vote for me to sell some stickers. Okay. So, what else do you guys want me to talk about today? Can I get some more input on that? Um, uh, I have just been working, and I work in spurts. Does that does that word translate for y'all? I wake up in the morning, I do whatever routine I need to. If it's cold enough to start the fire, I start the fire. That makes Wendy much more happy. If it's too cold, I'm finding that if it's 53, 48 to 53, I don't want to start a fire. So unless Wendy is really, really cold or I really want to cook something on the wood stove, I don't start the fire. If the sun is shining, Wendy will go out and lay in the sunshine. That's kind of nice. So I do my morning routine kind of things, make some coffee, drink some coffee, wake my butt up, check my messages, answer my emails, um, try not to spend too much time. Well, and early in the morning, is Wendy cuddle time. So we have to do that first. And then, I don't know, by 11-ish, I start to be hungry, start to think about food, or I've already thought about it and got it prepared ahead of time, depending. Um, this past week, we had quite a bit of cloudy days, and so my solar did not stay charged really well. And that meant that my refrigerator wouldn't run well. So I had to unplug the refrigerator. All the food I bought that I was hoping would last 2 weeks, I had to cook early. So I cooked it. I used my thermal pots. Um, and we got through the week. But Wendy got more meat than normal because I had to cook it and I didn't want it sitting around. And I know how to make meat last up to 7 to 10 days without a refrigerator and 120 degrees. I learned very well from the indigenous in the village that I lived in Costa Rica. So I have the skills and I know how. And I did some of that. But it was sort of like, cloudy and whatever. And there was a couple of days when I wanted comfort food. And so I made some of the meat that I had bought, I made it like stew like, and I just drank juice all day long and whatever. And uh, I got my new, do you guys want to see it? I got my new rice cooker. I have been wanting this thing since it first came out and I couldn't afford it. And I finally I'd been saving and somebody gave me some money for something that would make me happy, sort of like Lesa did earlier. And I said, you know what? I've been wanting that thing for forever. It will save me money. It will save the frustration of how many times using the kind of, because I'm allergic to propane, for some of you who don't know, but for the kind of stoves and heat and stuff I use, the burning rice on the bottom of a pot or burning just the spot where the heat hits the pan is freaking frustrating. And it's been cold. Washing dishes outdoors when it's icy is like, whatever. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the little rice cooker. So I did. So, hi, Roman. Oh, yay, stickers. Okay. Oh, yeah, you like Gator too? Okay. More votes for stickers. Okay. Well, I'll have to work on that. Okay. So you want to see the rice pot? Okay. It looks like a contraption, but it's not. It's the Keith titanium. It's hot because I made rice in it this morning. It's still hot on the bottom. Keith titanium. When these were brand new, they also sold a weight for the hole and sold it as a pressure cooker, but they never put that one into production. And the next time I see something like that, instead of waiting 15, 20 years to buy it, I should have bought it when it was new and expensive because these never came down in price. Okay. So basically, this pressurizes the liquid inside. So it cooks faster. Okay. But, anyways, this unlocks the top. And so there's a hole in the top. And yes, there's marks on it. It's titanium. It cleans up really nicely. Not even an issue. But anyway, so it has a little seal. This happens to be jasmine rice is what I got this time. And you see the seal is silicone, which, yes, I put a thing out about silicone. But it's an inner pot and an outer pot. So it won't burn on the bottom. And it has little holes on the side. You can't see that very good. Just a very few little holes down one side and the other side. And it's marked with measurements for cooking rice. But I've seen online where other people have used it and done lots of other things with it. So, in fact, one guy, Mark, whatever his name is, I forgot what his last name is, he found out that this, and I haven't checked it with mine, he said he bought the innards of a French press, and without the inside pot, he said the French press thing fit right down inside, so you could use it. You could double it up if you wanted to. So anyway, so it was not cheap. That was one of those expenses that I said, I'm just doing it because I'm tired of burning things and then scrubbing and the time and I should have bought it when it was new. Whatever. And did I show you guys my French press I bought? This I bought when I first got home, I bought this. It's a double wall stainless. I wanted the wooden handle. I'm not a big fan of French press coffee, but it's okay. And there's no paper filters. And so now that I got the sink set up out back with the bucket under it to catch the drain water that I then can pour on a garden or into I have a bucket of rocks with holes in the bottom that's half buried where it's near my asparagus bed. And so that will filter out any garbage that ends up down in the bucket. But I try to be careful and I try to put the garbage as opposed to the trash. So trash to me is paper and cans and stuff like that. Garbage to me is the compost stuff. Anyway, I will pour the water off the top of that bucket and then I'll clean the bottom if there's any residue. Goes in the garbage bucket, goes in the compost. So is that making sense to y'all? But that French press made good coffee this morning. It depends on my mood. So, yeah, that rice cooker, I've made rice in it twice now. Love it. Love it, love it. I can manage. Okay, so some of you all that know me well know that I use my camp stoves, the same ones that I use on the road, I use here at the cabin. And sometimes I use the campfire or I use the wood stove. So in this case, the first batch of rice I made on the wood stove early in the morning when I was boiling the water for the coffee. I also have these little hiking camp stoves. I'm a big fan of titanium, partly because, yes, I did hike on the Appalachian Trail. I did an attempted through hike in 2011 on the Appalachian Trail. It's a whole story. Not very many pictures from that because I didn't have a phone with me and I didn't take maps. I decided that if some of those elderly women years ago could do it in their sneakers with a shower curtain for a tent, that I could do it. I'm tough. I can do stuff. So anyway, I'll buy cheap sterno from Dollar Tree. It's $1.25, quick flame. It's not, There is a difference, a little bit of difference, not much, between this and actual Sterno brand canned fuel. Okay. And there are other kinds of canned fuel that can work, but the Sternos are okay inside your house. They're jellied alcohol. And I have other alcohol stoves. And then, of course, I've been using this, is the very dirty right now, but Vargo titanium. Love Vargo. I wish they would sponsor me. I really do, because I love their stuff. Okay. I now have their Sierra mug as well that fits better on here than my stainless one, which was too small and which didn't fit. Anyway, so this is a wood stove, and I have an attachment that's called a converter stove that on one side of it, you can use the little gel tabs, or you can, like Esbit style, right? Or you can flip it over and it has a little hole in it that you can put alcohol in. But that doesn't work good. The alcohol side of it does not work good at elevation. And the cabin is at elevation, so that doesn't work well here. But it fits. I worked hard to figure out. The Sterno can, you got to be careful how you put it in, right? So I do this thing, and then I twist it, and it'll lay flat, and there's enough space. I've got a lot of experience with Sterno cans, but it makes such a good pot stand and windscreen for Sterno. And it really will concentrate the heat up in the center. And then you can close the door on it, right? Anyway, so see, this mug would not fit. It would fall. Okay, so you need something a little wider than that on the bottom. But anyway, when a Sterno can is full, new, it'll boil stuff real quick. Hot, quick heat. When it's half empty, it's more like medium heat. And when it's a third or a quarter of a can, it's hard to keep it going, but it's more like being on low. So I'll burn it until it gets about halfway, set the can aside. And then I will adjust for what I'm cooking by adding 2 half cans together, or am I making sense? I'll take the half burned stuff out of one and add it to another one and get the heat I want. And so I can do a lot with these, but of course I've got years doing that too. But it would be a good thing for some of you to have in your vehicle or inside your homestead or house or whatever, if you lost your propane, or there was a disaster situation or something, that those cans will keep for years. Very seldom do those cans leak. Occasionally, I've never really had anything leak. The worst thing I've ever seen with a can of Sterno is if it's hot outside, right? If the temperature in your space is hot, like in the summer, and you've been burning a new can and it's hot, and you go to put the flame out, and you use the little lid, the lid sometimes, because of the heat, will suck itself down in, and in about 3 or 4 seconds, it'll explode out, the lid. Well, when it explodes out, it'll spray the jellied fuel with it. So in the summer, I have this little thing that was left over from another stove I had that died. Okay. There's also a Sterno tool that I just never bought because I never bought it, right? Because I had this. I use this to put the flame out in the summer. So that, and I use it for a simmer ring. So if I've got a new can and I only want it to be medium heat, I'll just cover half the hole with this. It works. But in the summer, I always put the flame out with this, wait for the can to cool down, then put the top on. That way you don't have that explode. Because the first time it happened to me, it caught my shirt on fire. I ain't trying to have my hair go up. So that's those tips. All right, let me go check. I've been seeing things. All right, let me go back. Thanks for the reminder. I saw that one before. Rice cooker is one of the best things you ever bought. Yes, Donna Kay. And when I was in Central America, I learned there were so many things you could do with a rice cooker that the average person kind of doesn't know. In Central America, they don't always have a kitchen exactly, right? They'll have a countertop or the top of a freezer or something. They'll have a rice pot and and an electric fry pan. They make bean soup. They boil their beans. They do everything in the rice pot. All kinds of things. I know some stuff if you're interested in that. Roman, impressive. Thank you. How much rice will it make? So it's marked because most of the titanium things I'm getting are made in Asia. So even Keith Titanium, their Vargo is Japanese. Evernew is Japanese. So they're either Japanese, I'm saying Asian in a bigger sense because they're either Japanese, Korean, so they're Asian, okay? The rice pot is marked for rice and marked for water level. I'm trying to remember. I think that's 3 cups full. Would that be right? Because the lowest amount, which I think they figure is enough for one person, is 100 milliliters. And I think 100 milliliters is a little less than a cup. So I think it's 3 cups. It's more than 1 liter capacity. The outside pot is actually, they say 900 milliliters, but it holds more than that. And 900 milliliters, this is a 1 liter French press. No, I can't remember. I was going to say, I think this one is 700 milliliter cup. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not that good at the conversions, but I think 3 cups of rice or something like that. Anyway, I made it full this morning because I don't want to cook more later. And if Wendy's upset with me because she has to have dog food because I'm out of meat, I have a couple of cans of salmon, but I'm not liking it right now. So how's the water situation? Do you have a well of fresh natural water? My water situation, I currently have 1 IBC tote that is 275 gallons. I'm having trouble with the faucet spigot is leaking. It never was properly put together. And so I have a new cover for it. And I have, but I've asked the neighbor who delivers water, I've asked him to come help me with that this week and get it figured out. I am an Amazon affiliate. You can purchase through my account and I get a few pennies. That is true. I haven't gotten any money in probably 6 months from my Amazon. They'll every once in a while they send me $10, but I haven't got any in 6 months. Hi, Grayson. Donna K. What kind of thing is that white enamel looking cup pot thing you just had in my hand? If you mean this one, Donna, because you said white, this is it's a mug, an enamel mug. It's Sinsa brand. You can buy them on Amazon in a pack of 6. I bought mine when I was in Mexico. In the grocery store in Mexico, I just bought two. Love them. And yes, you can. Am looking forward to testing that little rice cooker I have. I'm looking forward to testing it by putting some meat in it and seeing how the meat cooks. But whatever, I'm not worried about it. Hey, Bernie. Oh, there you go. There you go, Beth. Thank you for sticking that out there. Um, so I think the top mark, I don't know if I was right as far as rice goes. I think the top mark was 800 milliliters. I don't know. I'm saying it's 3 cups. I don't know. Yeah, 2 cups of rice makes 4 cups of rice. That's right. Right. Okay. So, hi, y'all. Yeah, I'm a fan of enamel, and some of y'all know my favorite way to make coffee is to actually boil my coffee in a coffee boiler. Um, I have a coffee boiler in my wish list because the one I had filled up with rain while I was away and then froze and it busted the seams on it. Um, so I need a new one of those. I do have an Amazon wish list. I have things on my wish list that I either can't afford or I want, but I'm not in a hurry to have. Like, I didn't put the chicken stuff out there because I needed it now because the chickens are coming Wednesday. So every once in a while, I'll put something out there that would be helpful to me. And sometimes one of you guys is really wonderful and just buys it as a gift. And that's so helpful because, if I don't have to spend 25 bucks this month, I can do something else for 25 bucks. Hang on, Wendy's at the door. I just saw her. Miss Wendy, are you coming in? There you are. Do you want to come up and let everybody see you again? We're still talking on our live stream. Do you want to come up? You want to come up? Come. Oh, let me pick you up. Okay, here's Wendy again for all you that want to see. Miss Wendy Woo. Yep, she's been outside hunting and protecting the house. She's a good girl. Yeah, enamel. I don't like every single pot of mine to be enamel. And one of the reasons I started doing titanium was because enamel could chip. And I was having trouble getting the old fashioned enamel that didn't have the stainless steel edges on it. And when I traveled, when I travel, when I'm in my vehicles doing my thing, um, the enamel's great, but if I can't protect it and it gets banged around, then I'm kind of ruining it. So I was hunting for the lightest weight, better quality pots that if I had to, I used to have this thing, if I had to leave my vehicle and hike away, that I could actually carry the things I need with me. Because with my health issues, being able to, I cook all my own food. I very rarely go to a restaurant or anything. And if I do, I know I'm going to have to take Benadryl most of the time. So, so with all these health issues I've had, um, it just I cook all my own food, so I want to have the things that allow me to cook without so much whatever. And so titanium's very lightweight, and if I had to put everything I owned in a backpack and walk away, I can take my kitchen stuff with me. I could keep eating, I could keep being okay. Sure, I could cook in tinfoil, but tinfoil is not the best thing for me. Okay. I've had problems with metal toxicity as well. I mean, I've had all the fillings in my teeth replaced with ceramic. I did that when I lived in New York City. Um, I have had some pretty weird, serious, health issues. By the way, I'm kind of following Dave Asprey a lot again, and wish I could go to the biohacking conference. Can't imagine that happening for me. I kind of would like to. I did, as expensive as it was, I did order my first Danger coffee. I got my first true affiliate link is for Danger Coffee because I believe in it, even though I've never had it. And I got my link a year ago. And so soon, it's being shipped right now. Soon I will have my Danger Coffee. I'll let you all know how I feel about it. The one thing I really appreciate is that he does use small farmers in Central America and that it is certified mold free. And I do think that the quality of coffee may be affecting my health right now. So I'll be interested to see how this does because it is expensive. But you know what? I have such a limited amount of food things that I'm not allergic to that it's worth it to me. And I refuse to do the whole doctor. Um, Here, you get down here. Get down here. I refuse to do the whole doctor medication, big pharma stuff. I'm just not doing that. I'm not playing their games. So so this is something I'm going to do. I ran out of my Redmond's real salt. Boy, after having only Redmond's for an entire year, I miss it. I'm using up stuff I bought when I was traveling as like a gift for myself to see if I liked it. I don't even like it. It doesn't even taste like salt, but I'm using it to use it up. I have another thing of like pink Himalayan salt. I'll use it to use it up, but I can't wait to get Redmond's salt back. And my favorite Redmond salt is Redmond's kosher salt. I like the bigger chunky parts. Let's see what y'all are saying again. What's the deal with the dog? What do you mean? I have a dog. What do you mean? What's the deal with the dog? Percolator or something different? Something different. I don't have one here I can show you because it broke. So a coffee boiler is a you can look it up on Amazon. It does not have a basket in it. And so you put it, they usually hold about 3 quarts of water. And you put 6 tablespoons of medium ground or whatever of coffee. Doesn't even matter. But rate about 6 tablespoons. I'm trying to think. I think that's a quarter of a third of a cup, a quarter of a cup of coffee grounds. So you put water first, any temperature water first, not hot. Okay, just like room temperature or cold water. Then you put the coffee in, it sits on the top. Then you put it on a flame and you allow it to get hot, and as it gets hot, the coffee starts to get wet and starts to sink the grounds. And then when it starts to come to a boil, listen for it. You can hear it start to boil. Turn the heat right down to medium or low, because if you don't, it will boil over and it will put your flame out. And then you simmer it for 3 minutes. And then you turn the heat off and you put a splash of cold water in it. The splash of cold water sinks the grounds to the bottom. And then you wait a few, a minute or so, and then you just pour the coffee. And you don't pour the coffee. The way the coffee pot is shaped, the spout will pour the coffee off the top. So you don't do a big glug, glug, glug. And when it gets down near the bottom, you don't pour the bottom part off. So percolators, the spout is made so that the coffee is poured from the bottom of the pot. A coffee boiler, the spout is more like this, a little higher to the top. It's made to pour the coffee off the top. That's the difference in those. I just found that some of the Asian companies are making a coffee boiler that has the fold handles, and they're making a coffee percolator. They're over $100 right now. They're in my wish list, but I'm not buying them. They're expensive. But to have those as opposed to the enamel for travel, I love my enamel though. So who cares? And an enamel pot's $25, maybe. So on my wish list, my Amazon wish list, if you go out looking at my stuff that I'm looking at, not my store. In my wish list, I have both an enamel percolator, which is red, and a enamel boiler, which is black, that are both on my wish list. And it's only because there's often other people visiting and people want to know how to do both things when they come here. And so if I can teach them both ways, show them the difference. But as far as I'm concerned, I would only have the boiler. I wouldn't even have the percolator. And the French press is all right, but you could use a French press for other things, like soaking raisins to make your own yeast, or soaking grains and legumes, or you can use the up and down part, plunger part. You can use that to froth milk. I'm allergic to milk, so I'm not doing that. All right, let's see what's going on here. What's up? What's the deal with the dog? I have a dog. I don't know I haven't had her long, but here she is. We must be getting trolled today, huh? Hi from Sweden. Nice to have you. Beth, you're doing wonderful. Thank you. Oh, so if you go to SimplyLesa.com, you're supposed to have buttons where you can push a button and go to my Amazon store. I haven't looked at that in months, so I don't know if it's still true. Yes. So yes, Catherine, I know you want to buy the shoes I wear. And Mary, yes, cowboy coffee in the proper pot. That's correct, Mary. Yeah, I don't know about the stick in the pot, but maybe it would work. It might work. Is there a link to the wish list? There is. It should be on all in the description of all of my videos. There should be a link to my wish list there. Sir Shane, you are so iconic. Keep doing what you're doing because you inspire many. Thank you so much for that, Sir Shane. I appreciate that. Sometimes it feels, especially with the trolls and stuff, sometimes it feels very overwhelming. Wendy's going outside again. I don't know if it's overwhelming, but it feels thankless sometimes when I see comments so much that are negative, right? Like I did an interview on somebody else's channel about Nomad hair care because she has been jealous, envious of my hair for years and years. And she was like, how? Tell me how. And so, I did a whole little interview with her. People were so rude in the comments. And I was like, I am not the only one in the world that washes my hair this way. Okay. And in history, you brushed your hair at least 100 strokes every day. I sometimes do 100 strokes in the morning and another 100 strokes at night. But it was sort of like when you're taking care of a horse, you brush the horse's hair. You're not washing the horse every day. In history, you didn't take showers every single day. And you could still be clean, but you don't have to. Anyways, and so some of those things, it's disappointing and a little heart-wrenching. It hurts a little bit when you hear people go, oh, you're just so freaking nasty, homeless people living in their vehicles, and your car must smell like pee, and oh, good Lord. I'm like, people, please. Okay, I know I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm not the most gorgeous woman in the room, but you know what? I'm not the ugliest either. And ugly and pretty are kind of relative. So get over yourselves. You got a bad attitude yourself. So, I don't want to be around you. So stop messing with me. I'm having a good life over here. I may be having a hard life, and there may be times when I struggle and I cry, and I'm human. But you know what? At least I'm human, and encouraging other people to be your version of human too. Okay? Do you? I don't want you to do exactly what I do. We'd be bored to tears. What fun would it be to sit around a campfire if we all did the same things? How fun is that? It's not much. I love learning new stuff. I love seeing different things. I don't want to be like all of you. Absolutely not. I made a comment on a carnivore post, I don't know, this last night later this morning. And the person was talking about cooking a chuck steak and how tough it was. And I wanted to say we're so spoiled in the United States that we don't know how to take a piece of meat and just freaking cook it simple. And it'll be as good as it is today. And if you didn't get it right this time, tomorrow it will be better. Or maybe it won't. Maybe you just don't like that piece, and that's okay. But I happen to like, my favorite pieces of beef are tri-tip and chuck steak. Love them. And if you keep it simple, it tastes really good. But this person was like, it's so tough. And I'm like, what world are you in? How are you? I didn't say that, right? Instead, I just said, how about keep it simple? They were trying to soak it in buttermilk and do all these other things. I was like, well, first off, keep dairy away from your beef. It'll taste better. I mean, it's a known fact in the world, though it's not preached. It's not talked about much, that dairy and beef don't go together. If you keep them separate, you get a better product. Even the dairy of butter. If you keep it off the beef, you actually make out better. And I mean, man, sometimes I take chuck roast or chuck steak and I just cut it in chunks, sort of like commercial stew beef, stick it in tin foil, scrunch it up, stick it in the corner of a fire when I'm out. And, in a short period of time, it's ready and you can hear it cook, and flip it a couple of times and then just, open it up, hold it, have a glove on your hand or something, but open it up and get a fork. I mean, or a skewer, a stick. It's good. It's not tough. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, dog needs out. Yep. Thank you, Beth. You're really. I love the way you help, Beth. Hi, Mercy. It's from my blog page. Okay. And my blog page, I need to get somebody to help me look at that again. I'm not getting paid for it. Somebody's getting paid because there's lots of ads out there, but they changed something, and that's why I'm not writing on the blog. Captain Diaper. Oh, okay, he's gone. Yeah, that's a bad handle to start with. I don't know what they call it. If you want to lose your hair, keep washing it daily. Absolutely, that's true. What are we talking about, Camila? Yeah, I couldn't tell you right now. Thank you, Catherine, for catching whatever you're catching. I see you guys are doing stuff. So, do we have more questions? What else can I talk about? We usually spend a good 2 hours, so we got another half hour or so. I don't want to move the phone. I would love to show you what I'm doing with the chickens and the starter things for the gardening. I'm most likely going to move the asparagus bed, but I got to hold off on that until I finish getting the yard fence enough together and get my water tanks readjusted. Uh, because of the chickens coming, I'm adjusting the water tanks. I'm going to have them cleaned and refilled. And so I'm thinking that corner that's over by the shed. That's part of what's happening right now. And the chickens are coming Wednesday. I'm trying to get the water done this week as well, so I have enough. And then I want to run the hose over to the little kitchen sink because we're not freezing anymore. So I can use that hand pump better. Right now, if I wash dishes, I have to refill the jug underneath too much. But all of that makes my processes easier. And but getting the garden space thing, that area ready to, it's going to be the chicken run for now. And so they'll be here Wednesday. That's that. Thank you so much, Lesa, for putting that extra stuff out there. It'll only tested the last sentence. Who was that said hi? Was that Bernie? Oh, hi, Azad. Is it Dr. Azad? MD. On the website. Thank you for putting that out there, Lesa. That's true. When you get to certain parts, you have to click on other things to go out there. Robert and Nancy, you guys are great. Thank you. I try really hard to not listen to the negativity. It's kind of hard sometimes. Oh, Skipper Doodle! Woohoo! Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Skipper Doodle, I've decided for right now I'm going to keep your hot plate. I need to talk to you over time, but whatever, we'll get to it. Yeah, I can't see. Once my moderators on here block the comments, the negative comments, I can't see them. So I'm only seeing the comments like on interviews I've done, which about every 4 months or so, I'll check the other interviews to see if I need to answer people. Because like on Tristan's channel, SUVRVN, a lot of people have come over here from there because I actually answered them. They were like, oh, you'll talk to us? Well, yeah, come over, whatever. And so every once in a while, I check those big popular interviews with me, just to see if I need to keep up with people. So I don't see a lot of, especially on Sundays. I am so grateful for my moderators. It helps me so much to not have to see that stuff, because it does affect me probably more than I have past trauma. I was bullied when I was young. I was bullied by my own family. So some of that, it's a little too hard for my health or my mental health to deal with. So I try not to deal with it. As much as I can not deal with it, I won't. Okay. So, we're kind of having an early spring. We've had a nice kind of mild winter. It was so nice to have Jeremy come up and visit in person last week. It was different. It was nice. Oh, he bought me something. You guys want to see what he got me? I don't have this on my Amazon store yet either. Look what he bought me. It just came Thursday or Friday. I got it. Okay. Guess what this is? So he was planning to help me with some things when he came up, but I knew that the first visit, he was going to be so busy looking around, nothing would get done. That's pretty typical. The first time you go somewhere, you're not going to work. So, how do I do this? Okay, I'm going to lift it up. All right, here's the brand name, HOPTO. Yes, it's teal colored, whatever. Look, it's the whole package. So, don't cut yourself gloves. The book, the oil wrench extra chain blade thing, safety glasses. No, I didn't take them out of the package yet. Spare battery. And check out these spare batteries. I wish they had this on all the tool batteries. It has a little button so you can check whether it's on, the level of the battery. That's pretty cool. Oops. I think it had to go that way or I couldn't close I forgot. Yeah, it has to go that way or I can't close the top. The charger. You probably already figured out what this was. And the it. Okay, the battery's not on. There's 2 batteries in the box, in the case. It's a little mini chainsaw. Yes, I think it's a 6-inch chainsaw. I did try it. It works. And it can cut a bigger branch than I can cut with my Sawzall, because my Sawzall goes with my drill kit. But anyway, I only cut 2 things, and so I'll play with it more, but Jeremy bought me this to help me out. And what a blessing that is. So I'll get to play with that more. That's really, thank you so much, Jeremy. He doesn't even know that I was going to show it off. But yeah, how cool is that? Nice gift, right? Yes, negative. Yes, Bernie, negative affects everybody. That's absolutely true. Christine, hi. Oh, thank you so much. Sometimes we can't see ourselves. I'm in your face because I'm trying to read the messages. Lesa came to see me in Snowflake. Yes, I did, Miss Catherine. I absolutely did. Is the wish list the one with 167 items? No, that's the store. The wish list is a separate link, which I believe is in the description, even on the lives. And so should be Simply Lesa's wish list. And what would you see on it? Well, you see the coffee pots on it. SCR. I can't make out something. Hi, welcome. Link goes to the store. I'm trying to find the wish list. Okay. If you go in Amazon and you search for Simply Lesa, my email, simplylesa@gmail.com. I think you can find it that way as well, but I thought it was in all the descriptions of my videos, because I set it up as part of the automatic thing. So if you see a description like Beth, if you see descriptions that includes my affiliate link for Danger Coffee, it would be on those, but it would say Amazon wish list. That's great. Chainsaw on the right size for home and home on wheels. I agree. I think that's going to be a nice thing to have when I'm traveling again, because I do fires, right? And so sometimes you're in a location where you can get firewood. Like in Quartzsite, you could buy banana boxes of firewood, but it's often great big, and I want little tiny pieces for whatever I'm doing. And so that would help for that. But also sometimes, like up in Colorado, you're in places to camp, like BLM land or national forests or whatever, and it's legal for you to pick up downed wood that's on the ground, and or dead wood or downed wood, and to be able to cut those in a length that will work for either your fire pit or your campfire or whatever. I think that'll be a great thing. I'm not going to use a big chainsaw. I never learned how. It's not my thing. We'll let somebody else. And I usually say some guy that's, really used to it, we'll let them do that job. But, I have been on a road before where I had to clear a tree off the road. And if I could cut the branches off so that I could move it more easily, especially once I get a winch for my tracker, that would be helpful. So, okay. I know for being a minimalist, it feels like I have so much stuff sometimes, but some of it's been adjustments, figuring out how I'm going to do this and that. How do I have both pieces of me in my life? It's a thing. How do you do that? How do you adjust so that you're on the road and you're not on the road, that you're self-sufficient and in multiple situations? How do you adjust to having more real people in your life when you've been so used to being alone for so long or isolating for so long? And then you decide that it's time to let people in and have community. And how do you do that in person as opposed to only Sunday and it's a screen and it's your face looking at you? Those are things that you have to, kind of deal with. Oh, do you have one too, Beth? I think it's great. Yeah, I'm real happy with it. I'm glad I got it. Because I didn't mind what I was doing before because I have a Sierra saw. A Sierra saw is a saw that the blade is, there's my finger, the blade is curved on a Sierra saw. Works great for cutting branches off a tree. And I cleared 1.5 miles worth of road using a Sierra saw a lot. I've done a lot with a Sierra saw. And then, of course, I have regular hand saws. And Skipperdoodle, when I was cleaning his place, he had a big, it's not called a crossbow. I forgot what it's called, but a bigger saw anyways, with a big blade. And I've used that. But this thing will allow me, I won't get as tired, whatever. And I do have stuff I got to sell for Skipperdoodle, I know. You don't see a wish list on my videos. Okay, can't find it. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Was okay. Well, and I don't, y'all will, Beth will scream at me on here with all caps and say, don't touch the buttons. I know. But I was like, I wonder, what does that button do? Would it? Okay. And what's this up here? Oh, don't touch the buttons, right? Yeah. Okay, no idea. Whoops. I just turned. Sorry, guys. Safe. Wendy's sitting just outside the back kitchen patio area. There's a little place under a tree that's a little bit slanted. The tiara. Wow, my Spanish and English mix mezcla de idiomas ahora. Anyway, it's a little sloped, and that sun is hitting right on. She just laying right there, and that window's cracked open a little bit. She can hear me. She just sits there, and I can see her ears every once in a while. She's just checking. Oh, you found it, Bernie. Wonderful. Cool. Cool. I know way down low on that list doesn't have many things on it. Way down low, there's a winter coat. I've had that winter coat on there for I don't know how long, but it's a list like that of things like a pretty log holder for the front porch. Wow, that was like a stunner. The coffee pots. I forgot what's out there. Maybe some solar lights, because I don't think I put the solar batteries out there, but I thought about it the other day and I was like, I should put those out. That's the kinds of things that I put out there. I try to keep them not horribly expensive. There is something I'm considering putting out there, but I haven't made up my mind if I really want it. I think I do. I know how to cook without an oven, okay? But Vesta, that I think it's Vesta, made the little canned fuel stove heater thing that's close to $100 that I know how to do things. I don't need that, right? I mean, it's a nice piece, don't get me wrong. And back when I had my van, that would have been great in the van. But the problem with it is you have to have 3 cans of fuel if it's cold out to run that heater. And those cans, like the ones I'm buying, they only run 2 hours. Okay. If you buy the canned fuel that runs 6 hours, they're $4 or $5 per can. You figure how expensive it would be if you were in a cold place trying to keep warm with that. Anyways, but that same company has made an oven that the little door is designed. I don't need it though. It's designed with a slide out tray that you can either put the canned fuels in, or you can put charcoal or build a fire in. And it's an oven. It looks like a toaster oven. And, you know, with my situation where I'm allergic to propane and the butane stoves are often a butane propane mix I can't use. Well, plus they're expensive. That little oven would be just kind of a nice thing. I don't really need it. There's another oven that I would like to have. It's a fold flat like a Coleman oven, but it has racks and a window and a thermometer on it, and it's $77. That's on another list. I don't know what list that's on. But see, I also have my my therapist have a fund that they can use for clients every year, and it's right about $200. And so some of those items that are higher ticket like that, I will save and ask them if they would, would they help me with that thing this year. And so like the oven that could be set on top of the one that's like the Coleman oven that folds, and you could set it on top of the wood stove and stuff like that. That oven, I thought about asking the therapist for that, as well as a hot water heater for swimming pools, because I could throw a hose up on the roof, no big deal for taking a shower. I got no problem with that. But if they'll buy me the other thing, why not let them? Although does that sound bad? Sorry, I don't mean it to sound bad, but hi, Brandon. Nice to see you. No, actually, no snow outside right now. We had snow. Okay, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. What are you seeing outside the window? Sunshine. That's a lot of sunshine. And I have candles and matches and stuff in that window. Yep. Oh, and those little fire starter things. I love the tumbleweed fire starters. They're little curls of like sawdust or wood curls, anyways, and they've got paraffin wax on them. Those just start a fire so nice. I don't have to have that start a fire because I know how, but you know, when you're starting a fire at 5 o'clock in the morning because it's been 2 degrees outside, sometimes having something like that's nice. Can I see 2 texts you sent, Bernie? I can see. Thank you, Brandon, for scrolling through. If you'd give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. It's different that you now can scroll through on the live streams. We have been coming out as a community for a while, so it's kind of strange to me. Bernie, I had seen messages from you before, but I didn't. I did not look. I'm assuming you mean messages on here this morning, because any other messages I'm not looking at. I'm afraid to. I don't have 167 things on my wish list. There's no way there's 167 things on my wish list. No. I think Bernie actually found the wish list itself. because my store for sure has more than like 200 items in the store itself. But that's because I've tested a lot of things over the years. I used to make reviews all the time. So, yeah, that's what I thought. That was my store. Okay. Thank you for sharing your religious beliefs, but would you please not do that on my channel today? I do have beliefs, and I think you do you, and I do me, but this is my channel, and I would prefer that we don't bother my community with your particular religious beliefs. Thank you very much. I am... Okay. Thank you, Brandon. I'm actually not on the road right now. I have a vehicle that I use to get around, and it managed to get me home to the cabin and my property. But my travel vehicle is still in pieces in Nevada. The engine blew. I bought a new engine. The new engine was bad. I paid a lot of money for the new engine on my income. And now it's a matter of, since I managed to figure out a way to get home, now I need to figure out a way to get it where it can be repaired. The mechanic has had to close his shop in Nevada. He's willing to finish my job if I choose to have him do that. I'm kind of anxious to have it closer. Life starts getting away from you, and you start getting nervous about, will the tires be there? Will the, you know, or whatever. It's safe where it's sitting. I trust that mechanic and his family and whatnot, but we're starting to be in negotiations with my mechanic here closer to home about how could we do a road trip and get it? How could we get it back here? How can I afford to do this so that I can't wait to have my little truck back. I love going and hanging out with other Zuki people. I love the overland crowd. I love, you know, I'm part of the overland family. I was teaching classes at overland expos. And right now, I just have been feeling kind of lost and unsettled. And I'm needing to take care of, I'm just needing to live life in the meantime and try to be myself as that. But a big piece of me loves to do the camping and traveling thing. And, you know, I've been nomadic for years. You know, I lived in a van the first time in 1978. And so, yes, I'm not young anymore, but it doesn't mean I'm not useful. So thank you for coming by anyways, all you people who just keep coming. Huh. I don't know why. Bernie, can you? Oh no, Bernie, you'd be one who couldn't type it. You would want to be just copying and pasting, and I don't know. I'm so scared. Y'all know if I touch the phone right now, I might lose you. It happened once. I ain't trying to do that. So, by the way, Catherine, thank you for the new blouse. Catherine found some clothes and gave me a bag the other day, and I was able to wash them. Um, oh, okay, Mary. Maybe Beth could grab it, or Catherine could, or somebody. I don't know. Only moderators can post links. Okay. I wasn't aware of that, but how cool is that? Okay. And like I said, I don't even dare touch that phone again, because that's when you lost me, was when I touched it. So, but as I remember, when I hunted for a friend's wish list, as long as I had their email address, I was able to find it. So, but it's been a while. What? Okay. So my links, I told you, I thought somebody else had got into my blog page and changed stuff so that somebody else is getting paid for all my stuff. But it is such a big rabbit hole, and I only use my phone, and I have limited signal. So I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I got no freaking idea. But if it went to somebody's farm address, then they're getting paid for whatever, not me. And I'm not. I'm not getting paid for this stuff. And I used to once in a while get a $20 check here and there or whatever, but I haven't gotten money in a long, long time. All right. So I apologize for whatever's happening. I don't have money to pay somebody to help with all this stuff. So, you know, because I get emails often and I'm offered all kinds of stuff if I'll only pay them $300 a month. I haven't got $300 a month to pay somebody. You know, and somebody else online said, well, if you're making the minimum just like everybody else, you're getting $300 a month. I am not getting $300 a month. I'm lucky if I get 2 checks a year that are $200 from any of the stuff I do online. You know, you don't think you're getting out here to get rich. That ain't happening. Doesn't matter how good you are. But things come to me easily. Things come through me to other people easily. You know, I'm blessed. I feel I feel like I do a good job in spite of. And some of this stuff is starting to get ahead of me some, but you know, I get chickens coming. I got to deal with the chickens. I don't have anybody helping me build the chicken coop, okay, or the hen house. And it's right now the coop's in pretty good shape. I got to get the hen house fixed. But you know, nobody's helping me with that. So I got to do the best I can. And I got to, you know, chop chop. I got to get my stuff together, keep my things rolling. And then, you know, as you guys are able, you know, get a hold of me. Let me know. We'll see whether I can be here and have a guest this year. Mary, I know you tried a couple of times last year. If you are coming through anytime soon, absolutely come. You can get in. The road's better. The road's dried out. It's good. Um, just don't come during monsoons and don't come in the winter when there's snow unless you know that and are prepared. That's my take on that. Here's Miss Wendy again. Oh, wrong place. You want to come in? Or are you barking at the birds? Are you barking at the birds? No, you want to come in. I taught Wendy to do one bark at the door, so I would bring her in. So, all right. Anyways, so I think that last little taste of coffee is like a little acidy. There you go, Miss Wendy. You gonna rest? Yeah. What a good girl. You doing a good job today. That woodpecker was so pretty. I hope he stays around. I need to get some bluebird boxes. I don't know if you know, but bluebirds keep other birds away from your garden because they're very territorial. And I have many times before, 2 miles over or less, I have seen flocks of bluebirds here. And but I don't know that I've ever seen them here. So, and you know something else I would love to do? I haven't talked to you guys about this, I don't think. I would love to get a couple of bee skeps and try to keep bees the old way. Like they're going to swarm, they're going to go, you know. A bee skep is like from colonial times. They were woven out of grass. And so they have that beehive shape, right? And they have a little hole in them, and the bees go inside and live there. And when they get to a certain stage, and they're going to want to swarm and go somewhere else. So most people that I've seen that actually use old bee skeps, they have a little like a plank set up with a roof over the top, and they put 3 skeps. And so one is the one that the bees are living in now. And when they swarm, they'll go to a new one. And then over time, they take the old one away and they replace it. So they've got 3 new, so they have skeps for the bees to move to when they're ready to swarm. It's an old school way of doing it, but I would love to have that here. Okay, so you're probably right that I need to go on a computer. Bertie, I don't know that you know, but I've said it before. I no longer have a laptop. I had to trade it for auto repairs. Sometimes I have to barter. And in the moment, somebody was like, that's a cool laptop. That works pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, you know how much your bill is XYZ, but I'll take the laptop. I was like, okay, you can have a laptop. That's all set. So, sometimes we do these things. Okay, I see it in blue. On my screen, the blue's harder to see, but I see it. Cool. Thank you guys for doing that. I see all of those loves and smiley faces, and yay. That's wonderful. Yes, there's probably a lot of things that need working on that way online that I can't get to them easily. I probably should go spend some time at the local library, but it feels overwhelming because I have to deal with people and you're limited to a certain amount of time and I have to use their computers and I just have to sit there for, and the last time I did something like that, I kind of came 4 hours later and I was exhausted and it was like, I don't know. And you can't take the dog in. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's all. I'm just yakking. Hey, we made it 2 hours. Boy, the birds are so happy out here today. I have a good view of. I have a water feeder, a waterer for birds. That's like a bird feeder thing, but it's for water, and it's just outside the fence on the other side of the window. That's right near you guys. So I get to see all the birds that are coming over here for the water. But the bird food is further away because of the rats and the rodents, uh, chipmunks and whatever else. I put that in my bird feeder tree. There's a pinion kind of over there, closer to the water. I mean, yeah, closer to the water tank and stuff. And I hang just one suet block in it, and the suet block kind of keeps the big birds from being too much of a pain, and the rodents can't quite get to it the same. They fall off different, and so that's helpful for me to manage the birds. But that's why you see me looking and smiling. I love watching the birds. All the woohoos and happies. Yes, when somebody buys something, it falls off the list. Absolutely. Yeah, it does fall off the list. I don't always know that you've ordered it. Okay. I don't always, like, you can order other things for me. I just don't remember how that works. And I wish I knew how to set up the thing so you could just add money to my Amazon account, right? So that, um, like my gift card stuff, if you could just add money to my Amazon gift account thing, then I could just spend money in there. It would help with groceries or anything. I don't know how to do that. It's a whole thing. Yes, you could do that. You could have it sent to my post office box. Um, they actually right now, hi, is it Emmy? Thank you. I do have an awful lot of stories, but I've had a life. I've lived. I decided somewhere back that, if I was gonna, die early, because I thought I was, right, or something, if I was gonna die early, or people were always gonna be physically beating on me or bullying me or whatever, I may as well just try to have a good life in spite of it. So I didn't let much hold me back. I was scared. I had a hard time sometimes. Yeah. It's not fun when somebody grabs you by your hair. I have a lot of hair, and drags you around a room and tries to push you out a window or tries to kill you. It's not fun. But when you're done with, when you get out of that and you start to feel some kind of safe, then it's like, well, what do I do next? Well, there's no point in still being scared because that one's over and I didn't die yet. So I chose to just go, okay, God, well, you must have my back and you haven't let me die. So I'm just going to find a way to do something else. Who do I want to be now? I don't want to be that person that's crying in my soup or whatever, right? And I don't want to be the girl at the bar sleeping with everybody. So I chose not to do that. And I don't want to be the one who does, XYZ or whatever. So I chose something I did want to do. And it was like, I want to be a good person to other people. I want other people to know that I'm nobody to most people, and I'm not a fashion model, and I'm not a wealthy person, and I'm not whatever. I'm just an average whatever. But you know what? If I can do it, you can do whatever it is you're trying to do. If I can heal a little bit, you can heal a little bit. I don't know that either one of us can heal every single thing that's physically wrong with us. But you know what? I've been paralyzed and I'm not. My dad broke his back twice. They told him he'd never walk, and he was walking before he passed away. And so if he can do that, I can do that. Okay? It's hard, sure. But you know what? Just change your perspective. And I find traveling and doing things outside the norm and thinking outside your box is where the perspective comes in from a different, for a different thing. And so take a turtle step. It's slow motion. That means, lift up your toe today. Maybe your foot will go up tomorrow. Maybe next week you actually take a step, because baby steps are too big sometimes. But just do something. Get closer to something. So, this week I've had to do that a lot. But my yard fence is way cooler, way better. And by the time the chickens come, I'll have a hen house ready, and they'll be okay. So that's yes, if you want to send something, if you're buying me something that is on my wish list, the address is already attached to the wish list. I did that when I set it up. So it automatically comes to my cabin in whichever way that they're currently sending it to me. Um, so post office box, not that big a deal. I have so many stories. Yeah. Um, PayPal me, SimplyLesa. Yes, that is true. That does still work. I also have Cash App. Cash App seems to work a little better. PayPal me, they're starting to sometimes take some money, whatever. If we don't learn to keep going scared, little hope. Absolutely, Mary. No one likes salty soup. There you go. I like that. Next time you have to tell them you need it for your work on the road. Nomad Familia Tribe. What's your tribe name, by the way? I don't have a tribe name. My P.O. box is 206. Um, I, I don't know if I like the idea of a tribe name. Do I like that idea? I don't know. I just don't know. I was thinking the other day that years ago I built a place on a hill in Costa Rica. And I was supposed to get a 99-year lease on this piece of property from the owner. And she reneged. And when she showed up, she said, "Oh, thank you for building me a place." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, poor people have to do things for rich people." And I just, like, I lost it. So, like, I lost it as in I was speechless. And I was like, well, I don't even know what to do. Let me pack my bag and let me walk away, because I can't even think now. So, why did I start to tell you this story? Because um, at that time, I was so into good. I'm going to have a place. My kids can come visit me. I'm going to have a place for the rest of my life. This is cool. I'm going to dig in my heels. I planted 150 pineapple plants. I planted 59 banana trees, so that we had a platanar, is what they call a banana grove thing, and lots of platanos, which are the bigger, not so sweet bananas. I love those, and cuadrados that I love. And I had big gardens and stuff growing, and we piped the spring water up to the shower and the kitchen sink. And I had an outdoor kitchen with a salad wall that was just a whole wall of lettuces and herbs that were all planted in big chunks of bamboo that we took off the land. Um, Anyways, I was so excited and I called that place Simply Home. And the other day I was thinking, I need to I don't want to do Simply Home too, but because it's not at all the same thing. And I don't want to have the name tied to the memory of, darn, that didn't work out. Because this is working out. So I thought about things like that, and what do I call this, and what do I, and I've been, some of you guys have been talking to me about me writing books again, and it's beginning when it's warm. It's pretty comfortable here. Now I've got the cabin comfortable during the winter, but I need that outdoor room to be enclosed so it's even more comfortable. But as I start to have some of you guys visit and I start to decide whether I'm going to teach some classes up here or something again, or I don't know what exactly, um, it would be good to have a name, and it might be good to have a community name. I think about it. I just haven't figured out what to do. So I'm open to ideas on some of this. Having trouble sending super, we'll keep trying for dog treats. Oh, that's so sweet. But actually, Skipper Doodle, I still have so much of your stuff right here that I haven't sold yet. And so you don't, I appreciate you. And that's wonderful. And you don't have to do that. You could send me a message. I believe that Catherine's husband is going to buy one set of items from me for about $60. That was your stuff. And so I'll have that available fairly soon. Um, that's true. Bernie, so Bernie says, I say, I think she's referring to, I say, I'm going to add this, tribe, because those showing up on site are from all ways of living. Nomads, then, for we all have our journeys here on earth as well as spiritual ones. We are constantly moving on different levels. That I find that to be so true. And I tend to not want to be pigeonholed into only one piece of my life. There's so many different, oh, here's a good analogy. There's so many different facets. Okay, facets are like on stones, like on diamonds or something, right? The different angles. There's so many different facets and angles to our lives. I am not a nomad only. And yet I've kind of been a nomad. But I'm not only that, I'm not only a person who lives in a van, because I did that more than once, but I don't love vans. Not that I don't love them at all. I just don't want to be driving one. I'd rather be in an SUV. But at the same time, I'm not only in an SUV, right? And I don't only know how to garden and be a woof worker, which I've been, or a house sitter, or whatever. there's just so many sides. I want to be able to be all of that. And it's kind of exciting to realize that I'm safe enough. And my friends that are close, I'm safe enough with these people and in my life right now that I can start to be more of me. I can let you guys hear the stories. I can create something cool. I don't have to just take the burnt toast. I can choose to have the pretty double wall pot because the coffee will be hot later. And I could go ahead and wait until I can have the one that has the wooden handles because it's pretty. And even if I don't like the coffee made in this, because sometimes I don't, I can pour my coffee in here that I make from something else and keep it hot. It's a useful item, and it's okay to have it. And it's like there's been a lot of my life when I have tried so hard to be the smallest. And I'm not a small person. I didn't come from small people stock, if that makes sense to you. But I have tried to make my presence on this earth so tiny so that I won't disturb anybody and they can't hear me breathe and I won't get in the, you see that this is the stuff that happens so that they won't see. And so I won't bother somebody so that I won't get yelled at or I won't get hit or I won't get taken advantage of again or it won't hurt. I've tried so, so hard. And I'm finally safe enough that I don't have to. So it's okay now to sit straighter and walk taller. And it's okay to go sit on my own ridge that I own. It's okay to just watch the birds and the world. It's safe enough that I can go ahead and accept these chickens and figure it out and be okay. And so I've trimmed trees because I've been walking careful and I didn't want to cut the trees. And I finally went, you know what, if I stand up, that branch could be cut and it would be okay. And I won't kill the tree. It'll be okay. And it'll be more comfortable. And so I can let that happen now, guys. So I don't have to hide. I don't have to be so tiny. Yes, Beth, the homesteading being in your blood, it's in mine too. Um, I have always loved plants and animals and trees. I love trees. I used to just love to sit on one of the kitchen counter stools. We had a big picture window right in the front of the house when I was young. And I would sit on the stool and just sketch trees. Because I used to love to draw. Well, I was a visual artist when I was young. I have 2 paintings in museums. One in Brazil and one in Boston. Or at least they were. And I wanted to be pretty and wear nice clothes. And I wanted to travel. And I wanted to go to Paris. And I still might. I'm not dead yet. You had gremlins? Okay. You grow herbs in your van. Yeah. So part of what can happen here at this simple home of mine, as I'm safe and as I protect myself and feel safe with who I invite, people could come here. You guys who still have homesteading in your blood, if I feel safe and comfortable with you and I'm okay with that, and we make an arrangement, you can come here, you can hang out, you can do some stuff while you're here and then go away and come back. I mean, I'm cool with that. um I think I always thought that this would be shared to a degree. Something that I have explored, you know, pieces of this, I think, but I've explored since I came home this trip, was it's interesting, as badly as I was talked about by my former families, both my birth family and my ex-husband's family. I'd been kind of talked pretty bad about. Um, they've blown through all their lifetimes of work and whatever. My ex-husband used to talk about how I'd never amount to anything and that he was going to have stuff to leave the kids, and he has nothing. And all the family properties and everything else, um, they took out second and third and fourth mortgages on and whatever else. And so there's nothing. I have two children, Joshua and Rebecca. They were both born, one was born in 80 and the other in 82. Um, I was able to contact my son fairly recently and say, hey, is there any chance that you'd be interested in inheriting my property and cabin when I pass away? And he just like, oh my God, mom. I'm like, okay, just hold on. Don't answer me. Just think about it for a week or so and we'll talk again. And so then I got hold of him again about a week later and I said, now, the first thing I want you to know is before you decide that you really want it, you need to come here and visit. Now, FYI, we've been talking kind of all winter. And his wife and whatever, I've been communicating with him. He's coming Memorial Day weekend. I haven't seen him since my dad died in 2009. He's coming to visit Memorial Day weekend. So I won't be at Overland Expo in Flagstaff. I'm going to miss it. And I won't be at the next Zuki Palooza. I'm going to miss it because I'm going to be with my son so that he can see whether this is something he would want to inherit or not. It's kind of cool thinking that, having been told I was the worst of everybody, I'm going to be the one to be able to leave a legacy behind me, and maybe even a physical legacy. That's kind of neat. So I'm fairly certain that my son will want to inherit this and that will be fine. I have a good friend who I already had said if something happened to me before things could be ironed out, that would he take care of making sure what happens, and that I would make sure that he could camp here. He and his daughter could camp here the rest of their lives if they want to, off and on. And so things like that. But I'm setting it up now while I'm capable and able and clear-minded. I don't expect to be ill when I'm going. And years ago, I kind of got it that I'm going to be a really old person when I die. I'm probably going to be 125 before I pass away. So y'all ain't getting rid of me that easy. But uh, being able to kind of relax and let more of the real me out in the open, out in the air, is kind of cool. But I'm having to go at it in a way that I have to be gentle with myself as I do it. Um, anyways, okay. Oh, Babs has to go. Okay, love ya. Bye bye. Oh, good for you. A 4-year-old cherry tomato. Isn't that great? I'm hoping that this summer I can get some Roma tomatoes grown. I like Roma tomatoes. I need to be careful. I'm one of those people really sensitive to lectins, so I'll peel and seed. But I love Romas, and so I'm going to be trying to grow those. I used to have my herbs all scattered throughout the yard and growing well here. But we had a couple of bad winters when I was gone, and they didn't survive. And my lavender got a mold, and so they're gone. But starting over, so it's okay. We'll get those things going again. They'll go well. I'll be able to travel some, and I'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out. Okay. Well, I think we've done a lot today, and I'm feeling like maybe it's. Oh, is there a Juan? Hi, Juan. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Um, I think I'm going to end this because we did make the 2 hour mark. And so we've been on here quite a little while. Folks can watch the replay whenever they want. And there is a way for you to see the live chats in replay. You see it as in real time as the video plays. I love y'all. Y'all pray for each other. Oh, pray for Catherine and her husband Homer, because Homer showed up with a big dog puppy last night. And I don't think Catherine's too happy about it. So pray for them. I can't think about anybody. I was trying to think of anybody with any like major issues. Can't think of one. Jeremy has I don't do birthdays, but Jeremy has a U day coming up. Tuesday is his birthday. So whatever you do about that, I just acknowledge, hey, you were born. You know what I always thought? This may seem silly. I always thought it was funny that you had a party for the baby when a baby was born, but the person that went through the event is the mother that had the baby. She ought to be celebrated for going through the 9 months and or whatever, and the hard labor of having the kid. She's the one that should have had the party. I don't know. Anyway, but y'all have a great week. Pray for each other. Keep each other in mind. We'll see y'all next week. I will try to get busy working on some stickers y'all can buy. I have some really great ideas for some merch stickers, and maybe even at some point try to do something with t-shirt or something. I don't know yet. We'll try to take it slow because I have a lot. I got to get the hen house done first, and really need to figure out what's happening with the whole blog stuff, website stuff. It needs to be simplified, prettified, and I need to be making the money from it that somebody else is getting, which I don't even know where to start. Oh no. Deep breath on that. Okay, so I'm only one person. I'll do what I can do this week. Y'all pray for each other. Pray for me too, please. Pray for Mike and his family. I don't have a status on that's the mechanic in Nevada. I don't have a status on his mother-in-law, but that he has had to go get a job and close the shop for all intents and purposes. And so pray for them and their family. I don't. Oro Zook, another friend. He has another Suzuki person. He has a Samurai that he put a 2.0 engine in. His transmission just went. I believe he's in Camp Verde, probably at Zook's Off-Road. I think that's the right name of it. Which is where he had his engine swap done. He's probably there working on that. He's trying to get to Texas for the next eclipse thing. Um, I don't know who else to pray for right now, but pray for all those people. Keep them in mind. Um, have a great week. Take care of yourself. Remember, if you're not healthy, you can't help the next guy. Help sometimes comes in the turtle step form of just being encouraging or grateful or just quietly praying for somebody. Sometimes that's the best we can do. But take good care. I would love to see a person that I know well maybe drink a little less. And I think that the drinking is their way of everything's too big and they can't see past it. So I think that their drinking is their only way to manage that one thing. I'd love to see that change, but I won't bring it up. So let's see if God maybe encourages that through our prayer or something. And I mean, for anybody who chooses to mask something because they don't know what else to do, it might be nice if that could change. I mean, even me, there's times when it's like, I don't know what to do. Oh, let me get another cup of coffee. That might not be the best way to do it sometimes. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you next Sunday, 9:30 Arizona time. Yeah, with the time changes, you guys have to adjust for you. And I don't know what else. Have a great week. Ciao.